Hey, review for Ballerina from the world of John Wick with Anna de Armas, Keanu Reeves in it a little bit, Ian McShane, Angelica Houston, and Gabriel Byrne as the Chancellor, basically the villain in the movie, and Lance Reddick in one of his last roles, unfortunately. Norman Reedus is in it a little bit too. So I did enjoy the movie. There's some great action in this. I mean, I would still have to put, I don't know where I would rank this, but definitely the first John Wick is my favorite. Just because I like the simplicity of that movie, and it's not as ridiculous as some of the other ones become. This one, I think, it doesn't get as crazy or ridiculous as John Wick 4. So I liked that. I thought Anna de Armas was fine. She's no Keanu Reeves. I thought she did an okay job. I didn't think she was amazing, but, she's alright. It's directed by Len Wiseman. He directed Die Hard 4, Underworld, some other movies. And I'll get into, there was a thing about someone else directed a lot of the part of this movie because there was a bunch of reshoots. So is he even really the director? I don't know. But the plot: an assassin trained in the traditions of the Ruska Roma organization sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. And that's Anna de Armas. Opens with a good action scene. A guy gets like 5 crossbow bolts to the face. I thought that was brutal. She's a little girl. She's a ballerina, and the father is trying to get her out of this organization, or as a cult, actually, as they say, run by Gabriel Byrne. Pretty good action to start the movie off. The dad tries, but he gets killed. And then she gets taken into the Ruska Roma organization run by Angelica Houston. And then it cuts to her as an adult. And then she starts doing her training. She's also training as a ballerina. Now, this movie is flopping, unfortunately, because I do think it's a decent movie. I mean, did we need it? No, we didn't. But I did enjoy it. It's also like just under 2 hours. It's not like John Wick 4, which is like 3 hours or whatever, 2 hours and 50 minutes. It doesn't seem as indulgent as 4 or as bloated. And I like 4, especially I like the stuff in Japan. I love all of that. That stuff's awesome. There's other stuff I like about 4. I don't like the villain in 4. I don't like the villain in 4. I like Gabriel Byrne more. I wish he was the villain in 4, honestly. But he's in this. He's doing this weird accent. I was like, why not just do your normal accent, man? He's doing this weird accent. I don't know if he's trying to be German or what. But it's kind of like, you just sound weird. Like, just have your normal accent. You sound great. You're a great actor. You're a great villain, and I mean, why do that? So, and I'm just gonna get into spoilers, but I did like the movie. I'd say go check it out. It's definitely worth a watch. Anna de Armas does a great job. I mean, people could criticize her. Oh, what does she weigh? 100 pounds? But a lot of times she's shooting guys. She's using grenades. There's a great flamethrower scene at the end. In the last act, that was awesome. I mean, the last act's probably my favorite part because it's also all in the snow. And something about action movies in the snow I'm just really into. Like, I just watched Dark Knight Rises with Cinephile World Order. Sean, great guy. Go check out his channel. And we just watched that, and the whole last half of that is all in the snow, and got Batman in the snow. I don't know. There's just something about that. I also love Batman Returns, and that's Batman in the snow. But like the last act is like all in the snow. I think it's in Germany. I'm not sure, but it's this really cool little village in like Northern Europe, and it's run as a cult, basically. Like the whole, I mean, I'm getting into some spoilers now, but not really. I mean, these movies have a lot of assassins, right? A lot of assassins. There's a whole homeless network of assassins, but that's not in this movie. But the last act is all in this like little German village. I really liked that. Has a great feel, has a great look. This movie's shot beautifully. It's a beautiful looking movie. I really appreciated that. I mean, the whole movie, but especially the end, I was just like, I really dug it. She's fighting, like, this almost the whole town is assassins. They're putting over the loudspeakers throughout the town. Like, the town is activated. Go get her. Because they're all part of this cult, basically an ancient assassins guild that's been around for over 1,000 years, run by Gabriel Byrne. And it's a great action scene at the end with a flamethrower in her. Thought that was amazing. Something I haven't really seen before. So I really dug that. I mean, at one point she's like, I like when she's in the tunnels and you can't see her, and there's a bunch of guys walking towards her in the tunnels, but they can't see her. And then she lights up her flamethrower, and then the guys are just like, oh shit. And then just blows them all away. Freaking great. I mean, it looked real to me. I don't know if some of it's CGI, but I know that there was people, in suits, and they were burned. I mean, it's stunts, so it's fake. But because I've seen some pictures and they're wearing like face masks. I think they CGI'd their faces onto them. So, but anyways, it looks great. And then she's I really like she runs out of gas on her flamethrower and she's fighting this guy, and then she gets a fire hose, and then it's like water versus fire at one point. I thought that was really cool. Could do me a favor and smash that like button. Be great. It really helps the channel. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Are you a fan of this? Did you see it? Or, I mean, are you sad that it's flopping? It's made about 110 million, but its budget's 90 million. But I mean, I think it's all on screen. I mean, she's going into, a nightclub. She goes into the Continental. She goes and rescues Norman Reedus and his kid. You find out that Norman Reedus is the son of Gabriel Burns and his kid. He's trying to get out of this life. He doesn't want his kid to take part in this life. I liked all that. I mean, you could be like, oh, well, we've already seen that John Wick in nightclubs fighting people. It's true. You could be like, oh, well, this is retreading some stuff. That's true. Norman Reedus didn't really need to be in this movie, though. He's like in it. He's in it for a little bit in the hotel. Then he gets captured. Then he's in it at the very end. So, I don't know. Maybe they were kind of setting up another spinoff with him, which I don't think is going to happen. So, but I like Norman Reedus, I like Boondock Saints. I mean, I watched some of The Walking Dead. I like him in it. But, yeah, and then Ian McShane, kind of rescues her in the beginning. He gives her a gold coin, and then she comes to see him later. So he's in it a little bit. It's nice to see Lance Reddick. I mean, it's too bad he died in like March of 2023. Remember when that happened? I was like, what? It's like the guy's not that old, and also like I've watched that guy in a bunch of stuff. Like he was in TV shows. I think he was in The Wire. He was in a show called Homicide. And it just seems like that guy's always been like skinny. He's always been in good shape. And then I don't know, his heart had a heart attack or something, which sucks. He's always an actor that I've always enjoyed, and yeah, cheers to him. So, cheers to him. But Keanu Reeves is in it a little bit when she's being trained by Angelica Houston in the Ruska Roma, and then she's like, how do I get out of here? And then Keanu Reeves is like, well, the door is unlocked in the front. And then she's like, no, I want to do what you do. And then he comes in at the end, and there's a little fight scene between him and her. And I did appreciate that she doesn't beat him either. He beats her, and then he kind of takes pity on her, gives mercy on her, and helps her out. So I did like that. Like, you know, you don't have to downgrade the male characters in order to escalate the female characters, because she's a new character, and we don't want to see her beat him in a fight, and she doesn't. He beats her, so I appreciate that. And you know, but when I was watching this, I was thinking, this is how you do it. This is how you do a badass female action hero. This is how you do it. And I was like, man, The Force Awakens, it should have been a little bit like this, because they show her being trained, they show her being beat up, they show her struggling. You know, like Keanu Reeves maybe is kind of like the Luke Skywalker figure. She in The Last Jedi, she beats him, but in this, no, Keanu Reeves beats her. Like, that's how you do it. It's like, but she's still badass. It doesn't downgrade her character. She's a badass character. So it's like, I don't know. You know, it's just like, it just blows my mind how much of a missed opportunity The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi and The Rise of Shitwalker, but especially The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, just huge missed opportunity. And that's how you do it. You do it like this movie. So, you know, there's some stuff in this that didn't have to be there. Like, there's this character at the beginning that she's training with, and she's like, you know, friends with her. It's this other girl, and then she disappears. She doesn't know what happened to her. She thinks she's dead. She appears later in the movie. She doesn't recognize her. And then it's revealed it's her sister. And then she just dies, like, right after that. I was like, is that needed? Not really. Not really. So, like, her dad wasn't able to save her, but he was able to save Ana de Armas. But it does show how much of a bastard Gabriel Byrne is, because he's like, they're fighting each other, the two sisters, in like this, like, I think it's like a tower, and then he's just like, blow it up. And then the guy's like, sir? Like, but she's in there, and he's like, you heard me. So, like, he's just gonna blow up even his own asset, you know, and she's a member of the cult, even though he killed her father. But some of that, it isn't needed, really. And then like John Wick, he's at the end, and then he starts helping her, and I was kind of like, why is he helping her? Like, because he's basically hired to go kill her at the end, but then he's like, no, I'm gonna help her. And I was kind of like, well, why is he helping her? But it's really just nitpicks. I did really like the movie. It's a lot of fun. I especially like the second half, I think, of the part of the movie. I will say I think it's Len Weissman's best movie, but I'll get into that now, because apparently a lot of this was reshot by Chad Stahelski, who is the director of John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4. So according to The Wrap, Chad Stahelski reshot most of the film after disapproving of Len Weissman's original cut. Reshoots took place in Prague for 2 to 3 months. Okay, maybe that city was in Prague. I don't know. It's somewhere, like, yeah, central to Northern Europe. without Weissman's involvement. One insider said, of course, Chad had to clean up someone else's mess. Remember, this film is basically John Wick 3.5. The story happens before John Wick 4, and after that film, they can't have a failure in anything Wick related. Well, I think, yeah, unfortunately, this movie is flopping. So, I mean, it made more than its budget, but you have to remember that they don't even get all that because theaters take it, and then international, they get even less of the theater take. And then in China, they get even less, apparently. And then there's also print and advertising, you know, posters, advertising, trailers, that all costs money. So I don't know what the budget really would have been, 150, 160 million or something like that or more. But so like Chad Stahelski really reshot most of the film, which is crazy. In 2019, Len Weissman was hired to direct Ballerina. Lady Gaga was rumored to be attached. Oh god, I'm glad she isn't the star in the film. And in May 2020, Chloe Grace Moretz, she could have maybe done it, was also in talks as one of the studio's choices for the lead. In October 2021, Ana de Armas went into negotiations about starring in the film. And in April 2022, it was officially announced that she would star. Principal photography was originally scheduled to start summer 2022, but instead started November. The film went into post-production in February 2023, and in March, producers said how they already had plans for sequel, which I don't think is going to happen. In April 2023, composers Marco Beltrami and Anna Drubrick were working on the score for the film, which was already set to be released. In September 2023 interviews, Weissman said he completed his director's cut of the film. Well, I don't think we'll ever see that. Because yeah, people were saying that this movie was done in like January 2023, but then they reshot a lot of it with Stahelski. Then around October 2023 is when the first insider rumors stated how the film is a mess. And February 2024 was officially announced that the film would be delayed for its original June 2024 release. It moved to later in 2025. 8 years after the original script was written, and 2.5 years after the original filming. Initially, reason for this was said to be in order to add more action sequences in the film, and how Weissman will be working with producer Chad Stahelski on additional scenes. A few days later, Ian McShane showed an interview how the film will be actually going through much bigger, extensive reshoots than was originally said, and how it's due to underwhelming first cut because Stahelski and others wanted to make it better and protect the series. In March 2024, a couple of new characters played by David Castaneda and Sharon Duncan were added. In June 2024, Norman Reedus mentioned in an interview for Collider that he just finished shooting additional fight scenes, and now he had to travel from Japan to Budapest to reshoot the film. In July 2024, rumors about Weissman's director's cut not being as good as studio producers expected it to be. It was described as catastrophic, and it was also mentioned how the film might be a series killer. The test audience's least reaction all mentioned how the film is a borderline imitation of the John Wick movies, but messier and done via a female assassin perspective, and now it is tonally inconsistent and poorly directed. Man. In The Wrap in 2024, confirmed leaks about how Stahelski was more or less ghost directing the film during reshoots, instead of helping Weissman, as earlier official reports mentioned. Based on multiple sources, Weissman wasn't even brought back on set while they were refilming in Prague, and Stahelski directed all the reshoots himself, which lasted for 3 months. This also ended up causing issues with Stahelski's Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill. It was delayed, and development on it had been pushed back 5 months. Oh man, due to problems. Well, I hope that gets made, because Stahelski is a really good director. I mean, because if you look at, no offense to Len Weissman, you know, but if you look at his directing, okay, he did the first Underworld. It's alright, it's an okay movie. I've never thought it was incredible, but it's okay. Underworld Evolution, don't really remember it. I just remember the first one. Live Free or Die Hard, that's Die Hard 4. It's okay. I've never been in love with that movie, but it's way better than 5, so I'll give them that. Total Recall, the remake. Again, I think it's okay, but compared to the original movie, no. No. And there's tons of lens flare in that movie. It's like he saw J.J. Abrams movies and wanted to be J.J. Abrams. Sleepy Hollow. I haven't seen any of these. Swamp Thing TV series. Apparently that was really good, so I haven't seen it though. And then this. So I'll say this is the best movie of his that I've seen, but apparently he didn't direct a lot of it, so yeah. Um but whatever it is, I think Chad Stahelski's a really good director. I mean, I like John Wick 1 through 4. Um, I do hope we see the Highlander reboot because I've always thought that movie. I love the first Highlander, but I think that that's apt for a reboot if you do it right and then make it a trilogy and then stop. That's what I've always thought. And Henry Cavill's perfect for it. So, and then Lady Gaga was considered. No, I'm glad it's not her. But yeah, another action scene I really liked is with her and the grenades when she goes to that guy's shop. Poor guy, she just goes to a shop to buy some guns, and then they end up like the assassins hit the shop, blow up part of the shop. The guy gets shot in the hand. I was like, damn, that sucks for him. I really like when she's using the grenades, like kind of different, and I like that action sequence because it's just different. I like some parts of this movie. I just felt like, okay, I haven't quite seen that before, so I like that. Like when she like wraps the guy up, like I think like in a towel or something in his neck, and then she pushes him over like a table, and then there's a grenade strapped to him and he blows up, and you just see him just turn into mist, and then she's right next to the table. And there's another action scene when she like stabs this guy and then puts a grenade in his mouth, and then opens this metal door and puts it in front of him, and he blows up. I don't know. I thought it was really good. So yeah, Ballerina, I really liked it. I'd still put the first John Wick number 1. I really need to go back and watch 2 and 3, so I'm not really sure what I would rank it right now, but I'd say check it out. I had a good time. So, but yeah, and Keanu Reeves, always good to see him. I thought he was great in the little bit he's in. I heard they paid him millions and millions of dollars to come back for the end part because he is in the beginning. And apparently he was just going to be in that, but they're like, we need more Keanu Reeves. And yeah, I liked what they did with him at the end. So, but yeah, Disney, this is how you do a badass female action star, in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's about it though. I'll see you next time.